Happy Thanksgiving Eve and welcome to another wasmCloud Wednesday for Wednesday, November the 24th. As usual, we're going to kick it off with the demo. Let me turn it over to Alt Brooks. Alt Brooks, give us a go.
Hello everyone, welcome to wasmCloud Wednesday. This is Alt Brooks bringing you a demo of the hot reload feature that we're adding to wasmCloud 0.50.4. You should be seeing coming out pretty soon. And I just want to show you today a little bit more about how this feature works, explain a couple things about it, and show how it's really helping the developer feedback loop for developing WebAssembly actors with wasmCloud. So to start, some of the things that I grabbed before this demo, I went ahead and started the HTTP server and the KV Redis providers. These are the wasmCloud providers that allow our actors, our WebAssembly actors, to receive HTTP requests and then subsequently reach out to a key value database and interact with a database like Redis. And then the other thing that I have is the one of our example actors is the KV counter actor. You may have seen it before, but all it does is receives an HTTP request. It defines this handle request handler, and then it increments a counter in a key value database. So the only other thing that I've done is run cargo build so that it doesn't have to take me 5 minutes while I'm running this demo. But if we use the make step in here, this is going to run cargo build in release mode for us, and it's going to assign our actor based on some things that we specify in the actor configuration template. Now, all of this comes with our project templates by default. If you generate a new actor using Wash, you get these make steps automatically. So everything I'm doing in this demo, you have access to, and you can do the same thing with the KV counter actor. So now that I built and signed my actor, it's ready to run in a wasmCloud host. So I'm gonna get our demo going. I'm gonna start our actor and then link it to our two capability providers. Now, what you may be used to is seeing this under this Start Actor button, we have the from file and from registry. Well, now we have from file in parentheses hot reload. And what this does is it watches the file on disk, your signed actor, and anytime it changes, so if you change the capability claims that you use with it, if you change the business logic in the actor itself, in the Rust actor, it'll automatically replace all running instances of that actor with the new actor on disk. So anytime we're writing WebAssembly actors with wasmCloud now, you can have it be hot watched or hot reloaded, and any changes that you make are automatically updated, and you can just continue to develop and hit a really small developer feedback loop. The only thing we need is the path to the signed actor. This could technically be relative, but just because it has to be relative to where you start the host, we recommend using an absolute path. And this is because things in the browser don't know where things are, or your browser doesn't know where things are on your local file system, which is a good security measure. But just to make this a little bit easier, thankfully, Steve has included a great make target called target path absolute, or ABS. That'll give you the full absolute path to your actor or provider on disk. Now, if we just copy that, come back to the dashboard, we can start up a couple of different couple replicas of our KV counter actor. Go ahead and hit submit. We'll spin up 10 instances, and you can see that it's got a fancy new status of hot reloading, and then also this little fire action, which you can use to stop hot reloading at any time. Now, the actor is just running. There's nothing different in terms of how it's running in the host. It's just the mechanism when you build how it can be replaced. So let's go ahead and define our links here so that we can actually link our actor to the HTTP server and the KV Redis provider. So we'll run this on port 8081, and we can connect our KV counter actor to our Redis provider with the wasmCloud key value contract, and we just need to give it the Redis connection string. So once we do that, if we come over to this other tab that I've got and we hit refresh, boom, we get a counter. We hit refresh a couple more times, we're just incrementing that counter over and over. So this is exactly what our business logic is asking for. But say we wanted to change this, right? Say we either want to make a modification, or you're developing an actor from scratch, so this just is like an MVP. What we can go ahead and do is come back to our VS Code window over here, and let's make like a really simple change. If we just didn't think that counter was descriptive enough, we can do something really verbose, like counter that we got from the database, right? We can save that. We run make, and then go back to our washboard. We can see if we watch the status here, if you blink, you may have missed it. It rapidly scaled down and up from 0 to 10, and now we're waiting for the status again. If we go hit our endpoint, wow, this is the counter that we got from the database. So almost immediately, as soon as the Rust build finishes, you pretty much it auto scales those actors down and up, loads the new ones in, and you can continue testing. Now, the make step isn't doing anything magic here. It's just building and signing the actor and putting it in the same place that we're hot watching. So anytime there's going to be a change there, we're going to automatically replace that for you. Now, that's obviously a little bit of an extreme example for changing the payload, so we can change that back. We can run make and go ahead and replace our actors back again. And if we refresh, then we just get that counter right away. Now this is really powerful because it's essentially we're replacing 10 actors in under 10 seconds running make here. There's a couple of things that we can do to make this even cooler. So say we have another change, right? We wanted to change the amount, we have some logic in here that we can include an amount in the payload and increment it by more than one. But say we just change that to something like, I'll do, 15 is a little weird. Let's just do 100. 100 is nice and easy to keep track of. We can make a little change. And this is something that I found in, when doing the example, when we had wash hot reloading. You can set up a VS Code task, and you could do this in any IDE, almost certainly, like a build task that you run when you save or with a hotkey. And I've got this build task just to run make whenever I use the build hotkey. So that's Control-Shift-B for me. So I just made that little change. If I do Control-Shift-B, you see this just kind of loads really quick for a second, and then all of our actors get replaced. If we hit this endpoint, we're incrementing by 100. So effectively, once you start hot reloading this actor, the changing your business logic to actually being able to test it is really under 10 seconds. Making a change here by incrementing a different amount in the counter, or even if we wanted to change the key here. So like we have a prefix called counter. If we wanted to version our keys or something like that, we can change the key, run the build task. As soon as that's done, we scale down, scale up. We can hit this, and we're starting again from a new counter because we've changed the key. So I really just wanted to show off how powerful this is, how much I think that this is going to improve the developer experience. And it's worth noting that in this process, any kind of compilation error or something that you're going through would happen before the hot reloading would even take place. So it's pretty resilient against issues when you're running into like developing a new actor from a template. You're not going to like accidentally run a broken actor or something like that. And then, of course, changing things back is really simple. Again, you can save, run the build task, and right away these things are automatically replaced. So, anyways, that was the hot reloading demo, and we can go ahead and stop hot reloading there. And from now on, we're not going to be watching that file for changes as long as we're happy with our business logic. So, anyways, really excited for you all to start playing with this. I'm going to be going through and updating our documentation so that this can actually be included there, and you'll get a chance to you'll get a chance to experiment with it if you were just going through the getting started tutorial, for example. Well, anyways, thank you for sitting through my demo. And if you have any questions about it, feel free to just go in the wasmCloud channel on our Slack and tag me. If you're watching this from YouTube, you can send me a tweet too. That works fine. All right. Bye, everyone. Happy holidays.
I love everything about this feature. I'm absolutely going to use this nonstop.
Yeah, I love
the
the
build time is amazing. I mean, like compare that to building out a container and reloading it. That is pretty good. Well, that's actually amazing.
It's even faster than it looks, because when Washboard says awaiting, the actor's actually ready to go. It's actually a bug in Washboard that isn't displaying the right status. So those actors are ready to go like faster than you can hit Alt-Tab.
Jeannie, can I put that quote on our website? The load time is amazing.
Sure.
Compared to building and reloading a container. All right, thank you. I'm gonna go back and crib that. Stuart, sorry, go ahead.
I was just, it's absolutely amazing. It's really, really going to help. I guess the next great thing would be providers, WASI providers that we can do the same thing with, right? But I suppose that's a ways away yet.
We have experimental thoughts on that, but that's nowhere close.
Yeah.
You know, Kevin has been working and thinking through some performance testing that's somewhat tangential to this, Janitha, to kind of respond to your speed. And we've got a big tech company that's, you know, using wasmCloud, and we're kind of helping them, you know, scale and whatnot. And one of the interesting things that we're working to define with them is how much better this is. And so we're doing like, how many actors can you load into memory? What's the footprint of the guest? And I hope that we take that work and kind of publish it out there, because the numbers are better than an order of magnitude. You know, like, you know, we're now, part of it is that it's always a little bit of you know, like any comparison is always somewhat weighted, because, you know, we're comparing against Java Spring Boot applications that take 4 to 8 gig per container, and we're comparing them to wasmCloud actors that are, you know, 20 kilobytes, you know, or something like that. And, you know, it's almost just not fair on there.
Yeah, this morning I was running a test of the wasmCloud host in debug mode, and was able to load 1,000 actors into it and still consume slightly less than 2 gigs of RAM.
Yeah, it's a whole nother world, especially when it's Spring Boot. Java in a container in Kubernetes can, you know, take 45 seconds to get going. And it's like, whoa. Yeah.
Well, that's just a really phenomenal feature, and a huge congratulations to Regular Brooks if you do happen to watch this video later to see how your demo went. I think it was an absolute home run. I know that we are on a holiday eve here in the United States with Thanksgiving. So I absolutely wanted to start by opening the floor, or actually let me first ask Steve, with the short week, we probably don't have a sprint plan or anything like that to share. I know we had some call outs that I can do but I'll hand the mic to you first, perhaps.
Sure. Yeah, actually, we've got a few Wash updates coming soon, and I think Brooks demoed the context feature last week, but there's also a new capability provider we're working on, so some cool updates coming up in the next over the next month.
Okay, awesome. The only call out I would add is that the community calls to action have been phenomenal, and we actually are just burning those down. We need to invest some time and make sure that we call out a few more. So to those users like Blake, for example, that have been working on those, just greatly appreciated. And thank you so much for being a part of this quickly growing community. So we'll make sure we take some time and continue to define those and continue to make a great roadmap to help to grow this community to be the most diverse and inclusive community we can be. So we build the best application runtime for WebAssembly with wasmCloud. Just any open call outs around? If not, I've got some marketing stuff. Did anyone else have anything they want to bring up? Hey, Justin. Well, marketing wise, we are working on an event in DC that is nominally in partnership with an FFRDC, a federally funded research and development center. So that will be public. So just watch for more information about that over the next few weeks as we get them on the schedule. I'm trying to get it done early or in December, but it may very well slip till January on just dates and logistics for the reservation. It'll be likely in Tyson's Corner, Virginia at MITRE is what we're working through. Planning is already underway for KubeCon EU. So we're going to try to slow down the submission date again this year to give folks more time to get great demos on the table. As always, we're most interested in user stories and community WebAssembly stuff. But planning is already underway for Valencia, Spain, and I hope to see as many of you there as possible. Any other community call-outs we'd want to make at this time? All right, the open floor. Anyone else? If not, I'll go ahead and stop recording. We can go ahead and hang out like usual. I'll go ahead and stop now. Thank you so much and have a happy Thanksgiving for those in the US and have a wonderful week for everyone else.